Hello, welcome to Motorsport Idag podcast. Today's guest is none other than the British great, the British equivalent of Valentino Rossi, Mr. Carl Crutchlow. Welcome to our podcast.
Well, first of all, thanks for inviting me to do the podcast. It's great to be able to be speaking with you and your listeners, I suppose, or viewers, or whatever you would call a podcast. I don't really normally do that. Normally is a face-to-face interview at the circuit, so it's great to do something completely different.
And that's nice to hear. And I think we should just get right into it. What a run of form you've had this year. You know, I've tried to watch you on the track, and what a great year for you and the team. Can you sort of talk a few things about that?
Yeah, well, first of all, sure we've had a great run of form lately, but it's not just me. We have to give credit to my team, to the guys around me, Honda, and the people who support me, at the circuit and away from the circuit. It's not easy to be in MotoGP, as you know, as the viewers or the people who come and watch, they also know. But it's a really difficult season this year. At the start of the year was a disaster. But now we showed the true potential of how fast we are and able to be competitive.
Yeah. So and with that said, so that's sort of we have to sort of talk about the Czech GP. That so you take your maiden win, and how could you sort of describe that weekend itself? What sort of made it click? Because as I imagined, you did some gamble, right, with the strategy. If I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, with the tyre we gambled, but the thing is people think it's a gamble. Maybe I think it's a gamble as well, but is it a gamble? If you make a choice, I don't really know if it was a gamble or a good decision. But yeah, sure, we took advantage when other people didn't. But I believe we were in great shape anyway. Also in the dry, I had a great pace. I chose the right tyre for the rain, but I also made it work. And some other people on the grid were on the same tyres as me. But yeah, it was a really nice feeling to obviously take that win, my first win, and then back it up with a good result in Silverstone 2 weeks later.
Yeah, exactly. With another podium finish. And how hard is it to compete with guys with Jorge Lorenzo and Valentino Rossi and all those guys? It has to be quite tricky, but it seems like you're managing well.
Yeah, sure. The thing that they have in MotoGP is the experience also. You can't take experience away. Sure, we have some great young guys like Vinales, that's strong in the moment, and Jack Miller. They've both won races this year and they are really young. And it's great to see. Honestly, it's good to see these other guys being able to be competitive and take advantage of, and win some races. But yeah, sure, Lorenzo Marquez and especially Valentino, they've been here so long and they know the tricks of the trade. So it's difficult to be competitive with them week in, week out, but we always try.
Yeah, I can imagine. And is there anything you would say that you feel inside the team has sort of progressed, that has made the bike better to ride, or made it sort of more to your liking, or is it just has it always, I can imagine the team has always been great, but is it something that you could sort of put your finger on has been a key thing that have made the bike more suitable to your riding lately?
Not necessarily. I think we have had to ride in a bit of a different way. At the start of the year, it was difficult. I was in great shape physically, mentally, and I was riding the bike well. And then the first few races came together, and I was probably trying maybe a little bit too hard for the package we had, because we know the Honda this year is difficult to ride and been difficult for Mark and also Danny. So then we started to progress, and I think now is where we are. True sort of potential, as I said. But this weekend's a little bit more difficult here in Mazzano. But I think being up there and being able to be competitive with some of these factory riders is always nice. It's nice for my team as well as me. They put a lot of effort in, so yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, and I think that I sort of have to ask is being a single bike operation. Is there what disadvantages and advantages would you say that sort of brings?
First of all, it's normally a disadvantage because you have, I don't know how many staff we have, 60 staff or something like that, especially this weekend. And they rely on you to get the result. So I don't like that part of it. But there's other areas that is good because the concentration is also always on me. I would 100% always prefer to be in a two-rider team. Hopefully that can happen for Lucio soon. And he took the decision to be a one-rider team this year. I don't really know why, but I mean, he's been a one-rider outfit for a long time. So we will see. We'll see how that progresses. Sorry. But yeah, I think there's more disadvantages than advantages. Sure.
All right. Well, even though it's been great to really watch you, you're doing a great job. Even though that it can bring some disadvantages, so keep it up, Carl. It's nice to see you do good.
Thank you very much.
All right. I think for the people that might not know you, so is there a few things you can say about you as a person, a little bit about your upbringing, and a few things about your early career?
Yeah, first of all, I didn't start with the motorcycle until I was 13 years old, which is really late compared to the guys here. So I've always believed I've been at a disadvantage because of this. I love football or soccer, whatever you want to call it, and that's what I did until I was 16. I was doing both at one point, racing bikes and football, but I decided that I love the bikes more. I was getting injured a little bit playing football, and I still get injured now racing a motorcycle, so it's part of it. I started and progressed, and I was lucky enough that I had some great people and sponsors and people behind me that believed in my talent also, and these guys at the start of my career, also I still speak to them now. It's part. I appreciate their help a lot. So to be in MotoGP now 6 years is the most I've ever been in any championship in my life. So obviously I won a British Supersport championship, and then I won the World Supersport championship, and now I'm in MotoGP. So I went up quite fast. I went British Supersport, British Superbike, World Supersport, World Superbike, and MotoGP in basically consecutive years. Wow. It was difficult to do, but I think for my career was a really, really good decision by me and the people around me to put me in that position to be able to do it. So I've had a great career so far that I've enjoyed. Sure, maybe it's not great on paper or what everyone wants to see, but I've enjoyed it, which is the main thing. Yeah. And hopefully long may it continue for a few more years yet.
Yeah, I still think that you're capable of doing a Valentino Rossi, so I'm still waiting to see it. So it's gonna be great to see whenever you're gonna give him that true fight. So it's just so great because what people might not know is you just seem to be such a hardworking athlete and also just a down-to-earth guy in general. And is there something sort of through the ranks that you have learned about yourself as a rider that you have sort of been able to use as a tool to just raise your bar?
Yeah, probably my determination, because in the end of the day, I've always said I don't believe I'm the most naturally talented guy out there, sure. Probably this is why I crash more than the other guys, because I don't understand, because I understand probably the bike more than the other riders, but to ride it is different to understanding it. Also my engineers understand the bike, but they can't ride the bike. It's that's the way it is. So, but being determined to bounce back after a bad result, being determined to do a good job for my team, be determined to prove people wrong, be determined to back up what I've done all week in the previous week to work to do a good job, at that race. So yeah, it's I would say if it was anything, be a determination to succeed.
Oh, well, that's good to have, and it's brought you some success this year, to say the least. So we're gonna wait to see more of that as this season progresses. I actually talked to a little bit with a few people from a forum that asked if you hang out with any other riders off the track. Is there something you could talk about?
Yeah, I am. Obviously, I was teammates with Jack Miller last year, and he's a good friend. You know, he's a good kid. I think a little misunderstood by people. He's a fast rider, and it's a really difficult moment, as I said, in Honda in the moment. So I don't think his true potential has been shown. But I have a good relationship with most of the riders, which is, you know, is a nice thing. I don't really have rivals as such. Sure, if I was battling for the championship, I know that would change. But they're all, you know, I don't understand the people that don't have a really good relationship, because at the end of the day, everybody wants the same thing.
Yeah.
Everybody is risking their neck, you know, to do the same thing. And in the end, what does it change? You know, if you say hello to someone or you don't say hello, it doesn't mean you're going to give them an inch on the track. You know, you can fight on track as much as you want. And at the end of the race, you shake hands, because at the end of the day, they're wanting the same thing as you.
Yeah.
Sure, I don't agree with everything people do on the track all the time, but in the end of the day, it doesn't make a difference to my life so much.
Yeah, and that's because why I'm asking that question is, if you look at Formula One, you know, people barely touch each other or speak to each other in the same way as maybe other categories. So that's why I asked that question. It's good to hear that you have some kind of camaraderie.
Yeah.
So so I'm also would like to know how would you say that the safety of MotoGP has progressed through the years? We've seen some nasty crashes through the years. So we've seen Marco Simoncelli. We saw that horrible accident in Spain as well with a rider as well. So is there any things that as you as a current rider could say that this MotoGP has done as a sport to make the sport safer?
We try every week. You know, we have a safety commission every Friday. All the riders meet together. We've always been disappointed with regards to. It's okay. Somebody's looking through the window at me for no reason.
Paparazzis can't get all the time.
Yeah, excuse me. We try every week. We have the safety commission. All the riders are invited, and you know, it's disappointing that the Moto3 and Moto2 riders never attend, and they are able to attend.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the MotoGP riders attend. Only a few that never come, but when something we change, they will always complain. So you cannot really win. But we try our best with Carmelo and Dorna. They do a fantastic job of trying to make every request we have. It's not an easy job, you know.
I understand.
Because we want to move everything back as far as possible, but we also respect that it's racing. You know, we understand it's dangerous, but we also want to make it safer for everybody, not just ourselves. You know, so they're doing a lot that people don't see from the outside. They just think that, you know, this is racing. But every time we have this meeting, we try to limit the accidents. We try to improve the runoff. We try to improve the tires. We speak about anything and everything. So this weekend's big one was there's too many people in the paddock. You know, I know that's a stupid thing, but if a kid gets run over in this paddock, who's, you know, by a scooter or by a mechanic or whatever, I know that's not stupid, but it's, you know, that's part of it. And my team is the worst for this, because it's the home race and they have way too many guests.
Yeah.
So I've been giving them some trouble for it.
All right. But one thing that has changed your life also, not besides the wins and the podiums, is of course you become a father, and doing the dangerous sport and the fast sport that you're in. How has that sort of changed you, and how do you balance that? You know, the father role and of course the athlete racer role that you have.
Yeah. Obviously, having Willow was the best thing that ever happened to me. We are so lucky to have such a good daughter. She's at the circuit now, and she doesn't really care for the bikes so much. She likes the bikes actually, so it's difficult to separate. But when we close the visor, we just want to go as fast as possible. I know that sounds really selfish, and the way, but it's the way it is. You know, you have to sometimes just think to the next corner. So yeah, in the end, it's quite difficult to do. But when I go home now, I love to spend time with Lucy and Willow. But yeah, we are all coming together to the races, and maybe not for too many more years, because in the end, I wanted to have a good base and a good settling down so she can go to a good school, instead of traveling all the time and not seeing me or not seeing her mom. Or so yes, we will in the end, when she's around that sort of age, put her in a right place.
All right. So will you recommend that she does the same thing as you?
No. That doesn't mean I don't recommend it to anyone else, but I don't want her to ride a motorcycle. Maybe around the garden or something at our house.
A little bit slower than your current bikes. Are you ready for 5 fast ones, Carl Crutchlow?
Yes.
All right. Mountains, beach, or woods?
Mountains.
Which of these 3 has inspired you the most? Michael Schumacher, Jimmy Johnson, or Valentino Rossi?
It's a difficult one. Inspire is a difficult one because I grew up watching Valentino. Mm-hmm. So for motorcycle racing, Valentino. But Schumacher was the guy winning everything as well. So he's a difficult one. I would say one for one thing and one for another because, yeah. Anyway, next one.
Yeah, for sure. Valencia, Phillip Island, or Mugello?
Another difficult one. I've had some great races in Mugello and Phillip Island. Valencia is no good. We don't like Valencia. So I would have to say Mugello because of where it is.
All right. Name 3 talents of yours outside the world of motorsport.
Talents. I don't know. I'm good with business.
No.
I ride my bicycle good. And I play football.
Wow.
But not anymore. But I was good.
All right. And the last one. Name 3 non-talents of yours. And this, I mean, in general.
I have no patience. Motorcycle racing. It's not the best one. And non-talent. What that I may like to be talented at.
In general, something that you're not good at. That you can admit that I'm not good at this, in general.
Maybe riding a motocross bike. I would like to be good at it, but I'm not good at it.
All right. Maybe you need to phone the Stewart brothers and they can help you out. Huh?
Maybe.
All right. And looking forward to 2016 for the remainder of the rounds and with the races coming. What will be your approach, and how will the team sort of look forward and prepare for what's coming, for what's left of this season?
We will always prepare in the best way possible. We try our best to do the best result for the team and for myself and for Honda. And we keep working, hopefully, in the same way that we have been. With 6 races left, it's going to be a difficult end to the season, I think, because everybody is wanting to push as much as possible. But I look forward to it, and hopefully we can have a good last 6 rounds.
All right. So, Carl Crutchlow, it's been an honor having you on Motorsport Idag podcast. Sweden are watching and will support you. So that's for sure. And I wish you all the best for what's left of this season.
Thank you very much.